Hi, welcome to the 1 Liter Podcast. You will watch us drinking 1 liters of beer whilst talking about shies. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to the 1 Liter.
Hey, of course. Here we are. We're fucked up here.
Fucked up.
Quick disclaimer, we just had a fucking mad 40-minute intro. We were talking about the podcast and then we realized we weren't recording. So
It's
1
great.
liter's half done and here we are. I'm drinking the UDL coconut
And I'm
cocktail pina colada.
Pina colada.
Yeah, pina colada. Really cool.
And that is the perfect intro to what I'm drinking, which is acai.
Why did you make my thing? I was going to tell you to keep that in there, but you made it racist.
Oh,
Keep it in there.
acai Japanese beer. We're not insulting Japanese people. I fucking love this beer.
Quit where your head, Philip. I'm joking. Oh, yeah. All right, so basically what we're talking about, Philip and I were talking mainly about dreams and how dreams are interesting and how they affect us and how do dreams come about when we're doing our thing. So the last thing Phil and I were just talking about is things that have woke you up, like nightmares.
Dude, speaking of dreams, do you ever have dreams where you are trying to figure something out or see something that you don't know yet in real life? So you're like, oh yeah, I wondered what was, let's say for an example, you're in like an office building and you're like, I wonder what's behind that door. Then you have a dream and you're in the office and you have like a lucid dream and you think, I can check what's in that door.
Yeah.
And then you go to open it, but somehow you can't see it. Like you can't turn your head or you can't open it or something. And then you're like, and then you know you're dreaming. You're like, God damn it, brain, just make it up. Just make something up for me. I just want the answer.
Is that at that point in time you get sucked out because you're too conscious?
Yeah, and you're like,
you gotta
God
wake up.
damn it.
Bro, you know what? I don't think I've ever really had a dream like that. I've never had a dream where, I've had dreams where, it's like, I'm nervous for a new job, and then that night I'm dreaming about somehow fucking up at that job.
Yeah.
But I don't
And
have.
it's lucid, like you're actually you, and
Yeah.
it seems realistic.
Yeah. But the thing about wanting to open something and then your brain hasn't seen it yet, so it can't comprehend it, I don't think I've had that.
I get that. Not often, but I've had that a few times now where I'm like, God damn it. Or like, oh yeah, I've got the answer here on my phone. And then I'm like, for some reason, you can't open what it is. And you're like, it's because I don't know the answer in real life. I don't know. I've had that a few times.
What? You just fucking blew my mind, Philip Geach. I don't think I've ever had a dream that I can physically remember that I was holding my mobile phone and looking at my phone.
Real.
Most of my dreams
Definitely
like
have.
that. I've never had dreams where I'm kind of focusing on my hands and shit
That's it. That's literally the key.
to waking up.
Have you heard about that? No, to having a lucid dream.
You gotta look at your hands.
Yes. So if you ever feel like the slightest bit of consciousness inside your dream where you're like, oh, I'm looking around and I'm walking, and you're aware that you're dreaming, try to look down at your hands, and apparently that frees you up to just then do conscious things in your dream. It's called lucid dreaming. People do it as like they study it and try and make it happen, induce it.
Bro, that sounds intense.
Intense. That's like some Inception shit.
Have you ever had a lucid dream? I don't think I have.
Yeah, semi. Where I,
How do you, it's very rare that I've had a dream where I know I'm dreaming, but it's like, I get to a point where my brain's like, nah, you're out of the simulation.
yeah. Yeah,
that
where
the
you're
same
like,
for
oh,
you?
you've broken it.
Is that for you with lucid dreaming as well?
Yeah, I guess it's similar, but I think the key is knowing that you're in a dream. Like your brain goes, actually, this isn't real. But you can continue it.
True.
So it might be let's say, winning.
How long can you continue it though? That's
that's where it gets washy.
That's the thing. It's nobody knows why we have dreams. People can speculate and they can give us their best estimation of what happens. But I think the main thing that people kind of rely on is the idea that dreaming's just putting you in simulations that haven't happened yet to prepare you for survival, right? It's like safety. So it's like, you've never been in a car fire. Here you go.
You're like,
So that I understand if dreams were only about survival, Like, if you could be like, oh, how'd you dream? Oh, I had a dream where my boss attacked me with a knife. True, I had that 3 months ago. Last night I had a dream I was changing a tire and a fucking semi fell on top of me, you know? Almost.
They were that specific.
Yeah. But then you have a dream where you're like rolling down a fucking, you're going down like a water slide with a clown. And the clown's reading you your tax return, you know? It's like,
what the
how the fuck does this help me? It's like the brain gets a bit too much DMT and he's like, what?
And it's probably because, you know, well, like you said, you're nervous about a job, you'll dream about the job. So your brain at night is doing, like, it's compartmentalizing all your experiences.
Yeah.
So it's like putting it all into long-term memory and sorting through everything, da-da-da. So it's probably like doing that and then going, all right, here's your distraction, like we'll put, like, or as it's doing it, some shit happens, you know, like, but then what you've been consciously thinking about gets in the mix, like what's been happening lately.
Interest.
So it might be from where it's like,
so it's like a part of our
memory.
subconscious is leaking in.
Short-term memory, and it's like, whoop, we're going to transfer this, and then we'll have a little movie playing over here for Joel, and then, he's been thinking about this a lot. That's in the movie now.
Can you imagine if that was it? Dude, you might be onto something. That sounds fucking, bruh. Slaps a... Yeah. We have black. That sounds extremely practical.
Realistic?
Realistic. It sounds extremely...
Logical?
It sounds extremely legit, like considerable. I don't even know fucking pina colada. It sounds
It sounds extremely. Full stop. Shit. But yeah, I reckon try that next time you have a semi-conscious dream. Try
probable. That was the word.
Probable.
It's extremely probable, bro.
Yeah.
Philip Geet, everyone, the fucking a national treasure.
So, I want to do one more thing on dreams. I have had, and my brother knows more about this lucid dreaming stuff. And you know, you've heard of sleep paralysis.
Yeah, people think it's like demons.
Yeah, where people wake up and they can't move and they feel like something's watching them.
There was like a shadow on.
Yeah. So lucid dreaming can help with that apparently. But if you're in a dream and you're conscious, there's a thing that says, that people say, don't ever look into a mirror in your dream.
Why?
And I've done it. And so has David. And when I did it, because he did it years ago, and when I did it, I messaged him, I was like, holy shit, I looked in a mirror in my dream, and it was fucked up. So his was crazy. He was walking, and it was a mirror in one of our actual hallways, like that really exists in real life. And he was like, oh, it's a mirror. And he like consciously went and looked, and then he reckons he just like fell, and like it was just like space, and he's just like, and he's like, what the fuck? Mine was creepier. Like his was.
I was expecting you to say David looked like fucking Medusa, and there was like, what looked like fucking spirit.
Yeah.
You know,
not quite as cool for me.
Yeah.
But mine was. I was in.
It's like completely normal, but Phil's just got lipstick on. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like what?
Why am I wearing lipstick? I kind of look good. a bit of fucking like foundation on, like someone's put makeup on. What did you see?
That's a Family Guy cutaway right there.
Oh, for sure. And it's kind of shit.
I just got lipstick on.
I'll be writing for Family Guy, everyone.
It's the new one. I was in my man cave that I used to live in, right? I have an actual mirror on top, or had a mirror on top of this like dresser. And I remember my sister was there for some reason, and she was like walking by. She wasn't paying attention to me. And I was like, oh shit, it's a mirror. And I looked, and my face was half melted. Like my eyes were like puffy and shut. And my face was like melting, and then I got like this fucking rush of fear, and like my face was like, and then I like fell to the floor, and I was trying to yell out at Jackie, and I was like, Jackie, and I woke up and I was like, Jackie, and I was like, what the fuck? It's like, I was fucking melting.
Let's break this down because this is gnarly. So, you 1 minute you were like normal emotions, whatever emotions you can grasp that you're feeling in a dream.
Yeah.
You look at yourself, was it crystal clear? Were you kind of blurry? Like, was it
A
like...
bit blurry. And because I was like, as soon as I saw myself as I was melting, it was like I was squinting straight away as well. And everything went like blurry and squinty. And I was like, but I knew Jackie was over there from the corner of my eye for some reason. And I was like, help me!
She's like, rah, rah, rah.
Yeah.
So,
she's the demon.
wait, so hang on. So, okay, so you've... And then... Is it like, do you know those dreams where you're trying to run for a bus, but you can't run and the bus is taking you? You're like, can't you fucking arsehole, I'm booking it right now.
Yeah.
Was it like that? You just like melted into the ground?
Exactly.
Right.
And like you're trying to yell and I couldn't yell. I was like, and that's when I woke up. Like, I don't think I yelled it, but I like half like was like, and I was like, oh, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. Did
Crazy.
I've been burping so hard today.
The oodles.
It's the fucking oodle. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember I haven't had one for... That's the thing, man. Like, I said to my brother when I saw him recently, I said, he was telling me he had a nightmare sometime, and I was like, I fucking miss nightmares. And he's like, what? And I was like, bro, I miss fucking nightmares. Like, it was something different, you know? Like, the last time I felt the exhilaration...
Move it back a bit. I'm hearing too much popping.
I'm playing around with Phil's mic too much. I miss the exhilaration. Even if it's scary at the time, I still like waking up from a nightmare and be like, oh, fuck. Oh, it's just a dream.
Yeah.
I miss that, as horrible as it sounds.
Do you have nightmares that you distinctly remember from like years and years ago, from like childhood?
I do have some, yeah.
I have some scary shit ones,
But
man.
I have a lot of dreams that I remember, like just neither good or bad, but like kind of cinematic dreams that I've still kept in my head. I'm like, I can use that for something.
Yeah.
In regards to nightmares, I've got two that come to mind, but I want to hear yours first.
So I must have had a fear, and I don't know whether this was induced by the movies I watched as a kid, you know, like Lion King or something, but I had this fear of fire. So I've had several dreams with fire in them. One of them, we used to live in this little apartment when my sister was just born, and then we moved. But I came home, I think it was school or kindergarten or something, and I put my bag down and I walked through the front door, and I'm like, in my dream I said, hey, I'm just going to check if my bed's on fire. And I ran over to my room, and I had a bunk bed, and I was the top bunk. And I walk in, and my whole fucking mattress is just like burning. And I was like, ah!
That's gnarly.
So then...
You provoked the dream.
Yeah.
Bring me fire.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh shit. And then we were all like fleeing. But it wasn't like hectic, scary. Like if you see a fire in real life, you're like, holy fuck, it's engulfing everything. It was just like little flames everywhere, just burning shit. And we had this like tiled stairway that you had to walk down, like no elevator. And I remember being in the stairway, and there was the glass door at the front, and there was little fires everywhere, and we were yelling, and some of our neighbors were there. And I remember having these little toy sets of like a kitchen set almost. And I remember like, oh shit, there's a fire here. I was like, I need to put it out. And my little plastic kitchen set was like there. And I remember putting it on there, and it was like melting.
The plastic will neutralize the fire.
And I was like, no, my kitchen set. It's gone now.
Dude, I've never had dreams of fire either.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I say it must have been a little childhood fear of mine.
Yeah. I had...
From watching The Lion King and Scar just...
Yeah, oh, true. Fucking Lion King, man. Scar and kids since fucking 1990. I remember having a dream very late. This is so vivid in my head. I remember riding a BMX at like a park, right? And next minute I just rode the BMX and the park just dropped. And it was like a drop. It was like, fuck, I shit you not. It was like probably like 150 meters drop.
It's a falling dream.
And then there was another park right down there. And I remember just going, and at that point in time I wasn't like, oh fuck that shit. I was just like, oh! And then I was like, hit the ground and then woke up. But my nightmares, ones that have kind of made me jump, it's always nightmares where like things come at me. They go,
and it's like,
I remember having one where I was like, it was like, do you know when you wake up in the morning and like, when you're in primary school and your parents are like cooking breakfast and shit, and like the dad's watching the telly and it's like the sun's on? That's the sun. The sun's on. Turn the sun on.
The telly's rising and the sun is on.
The kitchen light was on, and you kind of like, it's like maybe it's winter, so it's a bit darker outside, so you're kind of like squinting. You're like, oh fuck, hey morning, hey, you know, huh? I remember coming in and I was like doing that, and then like I think my siblings were like watching telly, and I was just standing right where the hallway meets the kitchen and the living room. And then I remember they were talking about someone, and then I looked over and this like big head, like a giant head, just went at me with a body. They were like, and I was just like, ah! I woke up and I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like I was just chilling. I was like, hey, good morning, everyone. Like a fucking, yeah, it's definitely a Rick and Morty or fucking Family Guy cut.
But is it literally just shit that we've seen in our childhood? Like you walked past your parents watching a movie and something scary was running down a hallway and you were like, oh my God.
100%.
Stuck in there.
Yeah. I
You're
liked,
like, new fear unlocked.
yeah. The fucking Xbox. I really liked the remakes of It, but the first one, man, when it had the part, he's like comes at the character, that little kid. That shit was like reminiscent of things coming at me. I was like, fuck, it's not recording this whole time.
Yeah.
So you mentioned when you were younger, you had like an irrational fear about fire.
Exactly. So I'll explain the dream.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of dreams about fire. Well, I think I remember it like it's a couple of dreams, but I think it was like all morphed in one, and I've just have these traumatic memories. Maybe I had the same dream a couple of times, but we used to live in this little apartment, and I would run up and run through the front door of the apartment, and then I said to my parents, let me just check if my bed's on fire, and I'd run to the bedroom, and my mattress was like burning, and then we like all have to evacuate, and I remember putting one of my toys on one of the flames and was like, no, traumatic. It's fucked up.
Shlama! So mine wasn't as funny that, but I want to move on to when I was younger. This happened maybe a couple of times, not as much as I would like, and I'm not afraid to admit that I enjoyed waking up from a sad dream with tears and like a soaked pillow. Haven't had it since I was maybe 11, 12. I'm just putting a random number, but I remember the first time I had a sad, and I woke up, I was like, and like my pillow was wet, dude, and I was like, holy fuck, I was crying in my sleep. And that, I think even at a young age, I knew then, I was like, bro, dreams are fucking powerful.
Powerful. And funny you mentioned that, because like sad dreams, I remember having real life events happen in my dream, like someone dying, and I would wake up and I'd be like super distraught, but I'd be like angry at the same time. I'd be like, what the fuck? Like I've like hit the pillow next to me. I was like, no, like this is not real. And I was like, okay, I'm in my bed. We're good. We're good.
We're good.
Yeah, I was like, and then you because you're still in like in this half sleep state, then you go back to sleep and your brain's like, here it comes, and you're like, no, something else, play something else,
bro. For real, you've been able to. I've had a couple of times where I've been able to jump back into dreams, but a traumatic one, if my brain's never taken me back there.
Yeah.
Bro, you got a cool, dude. Your brain's like, bro, fuck it, let's go on excursion.
Yeah,
dude.
but fuck that.
Yeah,
like I was like, because I think it's because I woke up and then I was like vividly thinking about it. I was like, holy shit, like that didn't actually happen. Fine, yep, all good. And then my brain was like, or did it? I was like, fuck you, man.
The brain is playing a fucking synth. Ging, ging. We're going back. Ging, 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 ging.
Like an organ.
Yeah.
Like with the odd fucking weird sharp flat sounds.
Do you know this? I don't think I know the story. Here I am. I don't think I know, but I don't know.
But you have to make it. So there's 2 steps to making it. So first, when you wake up in the morning and you have your breakfast, you need to, well, I'll start with the second step. So the second step is when you're manifesting, like there's only a couple of ways that you have to make it.
Yeah.
Podcasts. I'm basically just copying a fucking someone's TikTok.
Yeah. Classic fucking geek theft right there.
Sorry.
Yours is probably funnier than that dude's anyways, mate. You've got a bit more gun show. I feel like it's like we make an infomercial. It's like, here's a commercial about a woman breastfeeding a child a new product. Here's the same video with a guy with guns doing the same thing. Isn't this more appealing? Make
like a Australian version, American version. The Australian is breastfeeding. The American has guns.
Yeah. Phantom of the Opera, as well as saying earlier. Like, I think the story with the Phantom of the Opera is like the Phantom is this dude who used to work there, and then there was like a fire in the opera, and half of his face got cooked, and then he lives underneath the opera house and kills people or some shit.
Two-Face.
Yeah. The law. Here's the only law. The law of averages. The great equalizer. So the Phantom of the Opera, I don't know why. I think maybe he's killing people to get revenge because someone burnt the place down, and he was like, I need to rape and kill people because someone else did something to me. I got to project my anger onto people or something like that. But that's an interesting fact, like, because earlier Phil was mentioning a big fucking organ, and it was just like, your mind is like, here, all right, let's do the thing like earlier. You do the
Well, how about
match this pitch.
I'll just do
match the pitch.
I'll just do a sound, and then you do an odd sound.
No, but if you're doing that and I'm doing that, it's not going to sound right. Match this, match. All right, ready? So you do that same beat. Ready? Keep going. I'll match you.
We're going a cappella on this bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm drinking pina colada. I am an alligator. I bite your fucking ass and see you on the elevator to heaven. Yeah, my name is Bevan. I eat that Devon. That's a meat. I like your feet. I don't like feet.
Okay.
I don't.
Disclaimer.
Dude,
It's brilliant.
I have a friend who like sends me a lot of jokes, and he sends me a lot of foot memes.
Foot jokes, yeah.
Yeah, like memes, and I'll like, because I like the guy, he's a cool dude, I'll laugh at it just for the fuck of it. But I don't have the heart to tell him, like, bro, like, I fucking hate feet. Like, I don't want you to send these to me anymore.
You hate feet?
I hate feet, dude.
Really?
Like, they fucking gross me out.
So if a girl was like, what about playing footsies?
Nah.
Foot on foot.
Foot on foot, it's fine.
Because your feet are gross as well?
No, I got good feet.
Yeah,
if
everyone likes their own feet.
If a chick's got good feet, then like I'm like, wow, that's rare. But like when I see feet, it just, do you know what it comes from? Was when I was working at fucking Wet n Wild, bro.
Oh,
I'd be walking around and all I saw was like people's feet. And because they're walking around on this wet, this like it's kind of like AstroTurf, and then it's constantly soaking wet. It smelled like feet, bro. And I just got used to seeing like gross finger toenails and
But
fucking.
you know when you see other people's feet and you're like, man, your feet look fucking weird, man. Why are your toes so long or something? And then you look at your own and you're like, this is what a normal foot looks like, man.
Totally.
Like
Yeah.
everyone's accustomed to their own feet.
Yeah.
But we don't have the same with faces because we look at faces all the time.
It's true.
I feel like, but
true.
we don't look at feet all the time unless we got a weird fetish.
Gross.
Fair.
Gross. Wingardium Leviosa.
You did the wheeze. Because you doing the wheeze. Wingardium Leviosa.
Expecto Fetona.
Oh man.
Prost.
Foot talk, eh?
Yeah. Welcome to Foot Talk. So I was watching on Joe Rogan, man. He's pretty fucking dead set on that alien fucking landing in Brazil.
Yeah.
Dude picked it up and carried it, and then he died from like Joe says, his immune system couldn't handle this fucking this plasm on him.
Big time. Apparently there's a full doco on it. Is there?
I fucking hope so. But that's the thing,
I think there
dude.
is, man.
Here's
I'll find it for you.
At the maybe like mid last year or at the end of last year, I kept seeing these things where like NASA has officially, or not NASA, like the US government has officially declared aliens exist. There's thingo. And then there was these memes came out afterwards where it's like they've literally dropped the facade and said, yep, aliens exist, but nobody cares. Nobody cares. And then you go on TikTok.
It's wild.
You go on TikTok and you may find a couple of pages dedicated to aliens, and they're still treating these videos like it's still a conspiracy theory. It's like, bro, you don't have to edit your videos like this anymore. Just fucking make it freer, you know?
So here's the thing. It's probably because there was so much like shit that people were like, this is BS. So then when something real comes out, everyone's like, hey, and just whatever. Yeah. Oh yeah, aliens. Yeah. I know about those. Yeah. Those fictional things.
I think I think for so long Oh man, I think for so long people have known and believed that aliens exist because why wouldn't you believe that? It's like why wouldn't you believe that evolution exists,
They
right?
can't not. Watch a video
Yeah.
that fucking I think there's like a video that's called From Earth to the Edge of the Universe or something on YouTube, and it just zooms out forever.
So many galaxies, bro.
So much
So
fucking shit.
many
As
planets.
if there isn't.
So many planets circling a sun at a correct distance to create life. Probably with different fucking levels of different levels of radiation,
Like we're
as well as gravity. So these things are just like whoop, popped up, intelligence, boom,
like we're spotting shit with water on it just in our own solar system, as if there isn't shit out there.
Yeah. With our fucking tiny little piece of shit technology we call cameras.
Yeah.
We think this is the most up to date thing. It's like, oh my god, look at this.
Infrared.
Yeah, and they've got like they can fucking see. They're like, this person will die in 72 days. Like crazy fucking transcendental ping pong shit. But yeah, so I think everyone's always knew that aliens existed, so they never really cared to be like, oh wow, thanks America, American government for trying to make an effort. We're fucking,
All right, now you guys are just trying to take the limelight and say that it's official. We already fucking knew.
40 years too late, bitches. So,
especially the Brazilians, they're like, please.
But here's the interesting thing: when you think about the traditional images of an alien as like a bulbous, kind of light bulb shaped head. But hang on.
Yeah.
Light bulb, grey skin, big beady black eyes, or green skin, right? Here's what my question. What the guy described and the image that Joe Rogan, that story was talking about, kind of had the big beady black eyes, but didn't have a bulbous head. So how many alien variations do we have fucking around Earth? And are they in collaboration with the other aliens that we know of? Or can you imagine if one day we were just doing our fucking normal day work and everyone's like, oh my God, turn on the radio, turn on the news. We go outside and there's a fucking space battle between two alien ships and their cloaking systems are down so we can see everything for the first time. We'd be like, what the fuck? Are we next? Whoever wins?
Not even like cloaking systems, but like they're close enough for us to see it, right? There's so much fucking space in space. Like, if it's a ship, even if it's the largest ship you've ever seen, it's probably still not the size of planet Earth. So as soon as that's further away than twice the distance of the moon, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's not radiating light like a star, like a sun.
Nah, that's a scary thing, bro. Like I love when movies these days, they take things into consideration. Like when a spaceship's traveling through space, it's not going, it's just silent.
Inside it might be like,
and like I like these like
shit rattling.
Kind of like Ad Astra. You see the sun slowly rotates and you see in the distance the sun starts to shine on this like tiny speck and then it gets bigger and you're like, oh fuck, a spaceship's coming towards. Otherwise it's just pitch nothingness. So fucking cool space, dude. But here's the thing, right? So like imagine if we see that battle going up there. And for all we knew, these aliens that have been dropping down to Earth were protecting us from like a raiding band of like a different intergalactic species. At that point in time, you'd be like, well, we see you. You're going to have to make communication with us.
So why though? Like, why us though? Like, we're such a little speck
Dude,
in
here's
the
the
universe.
thing. Well, you got to look at it. You can even.
But you reckon someone might be observing us?
Yeah, but you don't have to look at this. We don't have to look at this as like a purely we're just dumb animals that these things are testing on. Because you get the stories about fucking people getting animas and aliens putting things inside them, and they're like, Well, you could look at this from the point of like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or something like that. For all we know, there's a giant intergalactic alien organization out there. And they're like, planet Z872 in the Naina Gungung quadrant is, they've reached the Industrial Revolution. It'll take us 12,000 parsecs to get there. By the time we get there, they will probably have this. They rock up and it's maybe the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Or something. And then they start doing that, and then later, boom, 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 more come. By the time they come, we've got smartphones and shit. And they're like, they are aware of our presence, but their knowledge is limited. Few world leaders know of our existence.
And they have like conferences, and they're like, they're not ready. They're not ready to be inducted.
Exactly.
They're still evolving.
Yeah, it's like Star Trek, dude.
Yeah.
For all we know, because come on, bro, like look at the resources Earth has. If they wanted any kind of terraforming resources, they would have obliterated us.
Yeah.
We are slowly...
We can't have anything that's that cool.
Right.
Like, they've probably got other shit that's way better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We are slowly destroying the planet. If they were interested in collecting the scraps from the ashes, like, we will let them do the hard work so we don't have to nuke the planet. We'll let them do it, and then we can, like, harvest some kind of weird shit from the ashes of a planet. If that's what they're into, it doesn't make sense, because people are saying there were larger sightings of alien UFOs around the time they dropped the bomb in Hiroshima. So that almost looks like they're observing, like, don't do that, or we're going to have to intervene.
Yeah, they're like...
Could be.
Or, yeah, maybe they're even like, oh, they've done... No, it's only a small scale one. It's fine. We'll let them do it. They'll sort it out.
Yeah. So, but I think you're right. Like, I mean, we've got society, we've got democracy, we're violent, but how much further are they waiting for us to reach some kind of peaceful? Maybe they think we're just too xenophobic, because if we can't appreciate someone from a different culture with a different language and a different skin tone, then how are we going to do in an intergalactic space?
Exactly.
They probably think we're xenophobes, right?
Exactly.
I don't think we're ever going to not be xenophobes.
Nope.
So we're doomed.
Yeah. I agree with that. And I think we're just... What we think is super high intelligence and shit is probably just nothing, right? We're like, oh my God, we're so far ahead. Like, we know about everything. They're probably just like, you got no idea. Like, like, quantum physics is basically like starting to like explain things like spirits, or like when you talk about
displacement and shit.
When you talk about like alternate medicine, healing and stuff, shit that normal science can't test. Like quantum physics is like is getting there slowly. And
splitting, like, yeah. It's like the observation and all that.
And
shit,
it's shit that we still don't know, but we're like, there's something more here that we still don't have the devices to test. So we're starting to go deeper and deeper and deeper. But we probably still have no fucking idea. Like, imagine back in the day when people didn't know about germs, when women died in hospitals
we
giving
didn't know
birth.
About that. Was probably only like 200 years ago.
Exactly.
200, and dude, we were probably throwing spears at each other. What, 1,000 years ago?
Exactly.
1,000 years to them is probably a fucking a 2-day weekend.
For all we know.
For all we know. So when they pick
depending on their size.
Yeah.
What if they're huge?
Yeah.
What if these are just little fucking ants they're sending over?
Yeah. So when you think, if you watch videos of like, I sometimes get videos, like random videos on YouTube where it's like, people like popping giant absinthe sit like a zits on like cows, farm animals, and like a cow's been grazing for so long, it's got like a big cyst on its leg, and the guy just goes, boom, no ceremony, just chucks a fucking like a scalpel, and it just goes. And there's like, and the cow jolts when he sticks it in, and the cow just stands there and it's just pus leaking out like a fucking hose, right? And then a bit of blood, and then they seal it. But we don't know how the cow feels. We're just like, we know this isn't going to kill the cow, so we'll stick a knife in there. It'll live. It's going to be in pain, but she'll be fine. We'll feed it and let it roam around in another 2 hours.
We know to an extent, because we're like, it's not kicking off, so it must be fine.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't think if these aliens are what we claim they are, I think they probably appreciate all our nerve endings and where we feel pain. Mm-hmm. That's why a lot of people are in a brain fog when they get taken up there and the alien shoves something up their ass. But at the same time, they probably do treat us like that. Yeah. Because like, oh, they're unconscious now. Boom. You know, they're almost unconscious. That's what people sometimes talk about, crazy pain, and like they're fucking opened me up. Yep. They probably have a technology where they literally open up our chest and our ribs, see our fucking, like our rib cages open, our organs, and they're like, and they poke around, probably put a little fucking ointment or chip in there, and then their technology is so good that they can reseal it, and it reseals like fucking atoms and fucking like atom tech. We're not talking about cells, we're talking about atoms, dude.
Yeah, none of this fucking big scar on your leg from having a surgery. Imagine just like, instead of sutures and stitches, you're just like fusing skin.
Yeah. We're still using needles and fucking string to seal up wounds.
We're using sharp bits of metal and fucking nylon to seal our skin up.
We're barbarians, dude.
I know there's like skin glue, shit like that. But I
that's
don't know
still,
if
that's
they
still
wouldn't use that for
barbaric.
big
That's
surgery.
chemicals. Those are
Yeah.
those are things that are against human tissue. Like tissue's like, oh, I'll heal on my own. I don't need you.
Yeah.
You're making me scab and pus, and like we're fucking, bro. Like I remember reading things in the past about like light technology. They're using like light
That's
to do-
sick.
dude. Like, can you imagine? It's like, oh, I cut my hand off. I don't know about nanotech, but like light, and then your fucking fingers are back. Like,
Like some
I don't
fucking
even know.
Voldemort shit.
I know. I don't know how that will work, but that's tight.
What's the old man's name? The fucking rat. What's his name?
Ratus, yeah, gives us his hand back.
Voldemort's helper. Yeah.
Can you imagine being so afraid and dedicated to someone that you chop your hand off? It's like when you're
You
standing.
chop your hand off to bring them back to human form.
Yeah,
The dude can't even do anything to him. He's like a fetus.
exactly.
But you have this such dedication that
yeah.
Yeah, strange concept, weird concept.
Do you know when you probably haven't done this in a while because you're a bit of a wild boy, but
What
like,
do
when you're
How am I a wild boy?
when you're standing on the
I go
edge.
to work, I come here, I'm like,
No, but like you've done like skydiving and
Oh, right,
bungee
right.
jumping. So like if you're
Adventurer, yeah.
standing on the edge of a cliff about to jump into water and maybe like 20 meters up, you're like, oh fuck,
20
okay.
meters. Fuck
Yeah.
no, I'm not jumping off 20 meters.
All right, yeah. But those people who do that, they're like, oh shit, like that. It'd be like that, but times a billion, chopping your hand off. You'd be like, oh no, fuck, I can't do it, fuck. And then when you do it, you're like, yeah,
We spoke about this the other night. Imagine losing a limb.
Mm.
That's fucked up. Like, yeah, touch wood.
I don't even want to fucking think about that.
Like you have
Phantom
the
limb.
Yeah, but like the you never think about it, but you have like a relationship almost with each one of your limbs. Like, you're like, oh, I got this mole here, whatever. Oh, yeah, I've got these veins here. Oh, I get calluses on this finger. That would all just be gone. And you'd be like, oh, fuck, I've lost a part of me.
Mm.
Like, that's traumatic, man.
Mm.
I feel for people that have lost limbs. That's fucked up.
Totally, dude. Scary.
Scary to think.
Scary to consider. That's what I always find funny about like animes and like and shows like that, where they're in like really high stakes violent stuff, but they need to keep the characters alive, but they need to make it realistic. Like, oh, they're not immortal.
Yeah.
So what do? We remove one of their
We
arms.
cut off an arm.
Yeah, because it's like intense, but it's like, are he still alive? And then it's like character development,
And then it's all about how you frame it, right? Because when you watch 127 hours.
Oh, when he hits the nerve and the music goes, and he's like, oh,
man.
dude. He was scraping through with a fucking
Blunt pocket knife.
Swiss Army knife.
Blunt, because he's been hacking at the Rock.
Oh,
But like, aside from the gross shit, right? I was talking about the way it's framed. You're watching him there for 5 days suffering, and he's like, I have to get out,
Or I'm gonna
otherwise I'm
die.
going to die.
yeah,
And in that stage, you're like, fucking cut it off.
yeah,
Do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's framed so well that you're like, once he rips off half his arm and the arm's stuck in the rock and he's suddenly free, it's like this feeling of like accomplishment,
Relief.
like a relief. You're like,
Mm.
holy shit, he's going to live.
yeah.
Like,
Rats do that shit, man. Rats will gnaw
Yeah.
off their own arms. Like,
yeah, they're pretty barbaric.
we're just animals, dude. But not taking away, like, what a fucking effort, bro. What an effort.
What a film, though. Like, that shit is made so well because it really shows, like, the psychological journey.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, holy shit, and it's just your hand, right? Like, it's like, what percentage of your body even is that?
Yeah,
That's like 1% of you.
yeah.
And that's
But it's
stuck,
what makes you human.
and you're going to die
yeah,
because you cannot separate from
Yeah.
that 1%.
Yeah.
It's trapped you. Like, I'm sure it would be far easier if it was like just his finger trapped
Mm.
and all he had to do is pull his knuckle out of the socket and cut a bit of skin. But
yeah.
that shit is bone, flesh,
Oh,
giant nerves.
how did he break the bone?
That's the coolest part of the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Because you're like, there's this build up, and then I think they do it well with the music as well. There's this build up where he's like, I'm gonna die, like he's losing his mind, and you see it, but you don't know what's going on, and you see him suddenly like getting really like angry and violent, and you're like, what's he doing? And then he's like putting pressure on the wall, and you're like, and all of a sudden you hear this. and it like echoes through the what's it called?
The chamber, like the crevice.
Yeah.
I think after you broke your arm, that pain and adrenaline would probably have helped the soaring for sure, dude.
Yeah, but that nerve, you ain't ready for that nerve.
Yeah.
Shit.
You know what's interesting? The aftermath, right? So like at that point in time, he's probably lightheaded and delirious. It's like that lightheaded and delirious. You're like, I'm still conscious, but I'm like lightheaded, right? And then you pull your arm free, and then you're like, huh? I did it. But you want to pass out. You're dehydrated. You're emaciated. You're hungry. But you're like, no, I did it.
Like,
and then you're like, boom, you take off, right?
Do you know the path he took?
Yeah.
Was fucking long.
So long, dude. It's
through that
ages.
channel.
Fucking ages.
And then he abseiled down this thing, one-armed.
Yeah.
Which, because you know how I'm fascinated about disasters and
You're
shit.
a wild boy, yeah.
I get really fixated on it. So after I watched the movie, I watched all these real clips of the real guy. And he did this, it was like a show, doco kind of thing. And he did this thing where he retraced the whole steps. Like they went back to the,
after this, bro.
They went back to the
out.
rock. And he's like, here's the rock. This is where I was stuck. I was doing this. And he's telling the story. And then they're like, okay, so where did you walk to? And they walk through this. Why can't I think of it? What is it? A canal, a channel, a
valley?
What does he fall down? It's
a crevice.
Crevice.
Yeah.
So he walks through this crevice, right? And there's bits where you're squeezing, like chest is compressed.
He was a wild boy.
And the reporters are going with him, and they're like, "Holy shit, you did all this with one arm!" Like he's like, "Yeah, it must have been just pure adrenaline."
Yeah.
So it goes along for ages, and they get to this sheer drop off, and there was like this saved his life. There was 3 hooks there from where previous people had abseiled down. So there was already
starved.
that's
out.
in the movie. You see him like bend down and kiss this little hook that's drilled into the rock. He's like, "Thank fuck." But then he did it again with his bionic arm, and they were like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm doing it." And it shows how difficult it is to abseil down there with one arm. And it would have just been like, he was like, I barely remember doing that because it was just pure adrenaline.
Right.
He was like, I have to get down there. There's a puddle of water there. That is my hydration. Didn't even think. Boom, boom. I'm jumping off the
You would have drank that muddy water, would have been life, dude. Here's the thing I was thinking of while you were talking about that is like, at every moment, I would be so conscious of the fact that I've just chopped from the elbow down, I've just chopped that off. I'd be so conscious of that. I'd be conscious of the amount of blood I've lost and the amount of hydration I need that I've been lacking.
That's why it's just go.
Yeah.
Like there's no consideration.
So you'd be lightheaded, but you'd also be in a state of like, I could die at any minute. I'm going to die at any minute. I'm going to die at any minute. Just one foot in front of the other. Just keep going. That's like, I'm repeating myself, but that's your brain. Because like, dude, you're not thinking about, oh, I'm going to get 5 meters ahead. You're in such survival mode that you're thinking
you're just a creature.
Milliseconds.
Yeah.
Next foot. You're not going, okay, 10 more meters. All right, and then I'm going to turn this corner. You're going, next foot. Don't die.
Yeah.
That's how quick your fucking brain is working. That's pure
overdrive.
Instinct. That's how animals around every day, bird. That's how a bird, comes and gets the food, then takes off, feeds its family, takes off, feeds a family, makes a nest. How did we, dude? We are so far advanced than other creatures.
But we still have such rooted instincts when we're in that situation.
Isn't that, if we are an experiment of aliens, isn't that interesting? We're so mental, as in we use so much brain power, that we know of, but at the same time, we're still so rooted in our fundamental biology.
Yeah.
Like our fundamentals.
Yeah.
It's like we are totally an experiment, bro. They're like, let's give a bunch of gorillas AK-47s and jetpacks, but set their bodies on fire.
But they didn't even do that. They were just like, let's give a bunch of gorillas the intelligence to make AK-47s and jetpacks and see what they fucking do.
But they still like throwing shit at each other.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, we contradict ourselves so much. We're so fucking retarded. How do they even expect us to get over what we are?
Yeah.
Dude, you know what? just thinking about this now, we're just a prototype, bro.
Dude,
we're definitely
just
done for.
learning. We're just learning.
Well, no,
that's-
I got a feeling they're going to nuke us and then go, okay, these are the next humans. Let's make them
Okay,
fully
they
mental.
fucked up.
Yeah.
The next ones, they nuked.
Where can we go?
They nuked each other. We fucked up. Next.
Where can we go from here? Yeah, we're getting better with technology, but personally, where are we going to go mentally and physically? We can't evolve from this.
Well, but I mean, I always counter argue that kind of thing because
Please
I'm like,
do.
because I'm like,
I need
that's
some
probably-
encouragement, bro.
but that's probably what has been thought for hundreds of years. Like, where can we go from here? Like, what the fuck else can we invent? And someone's like, check this out. It's a wheel. It fucking rolls. And they're like, so now they're like, check this out. Quantum physics. But we're still just very minusculely touching on it. Imagine if quantum physics is suddenly like, oh my God, someone's invented something. It's a breakthrough. We can see this. And we're like, oh, there's a spirit world and we can access it. And we know how to heal shit from within our bodies without taking drugs.
Also,
What if we crack something?
also autistic people. They're the next step in evolution, bro. Because they're not feeling them like throwing shit. They're like, I can calculate everything you're talking about. What's the problem?
Calculate
Can you imagine
everything and no filter.
no filter?
There's
Because
no
there's
lies.
no need for that shit. You've put on weight and you have a lot of pimples on your face. Leave me alone. It's like, yeah, dude, that's probably why these
The
aliens,
invention of lying.
bro.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, Ricky
Yeah,
Gervais.
yeah.
Oi, no shit, Phil. I think we've just cracked the secret of human life,
We've cracked the code.
bro. And this is recording, right, bro?
Yeah.
We've
Yes.
yes. We've done it, dude. Oh, I think we've just, if we get assassinated by CIA or aliens abduct us, we'll know.
It'll be
why.
right after I upload this one.
Fucking oath, dude. We've done it. We figured you out, motherfuckers.
We see you.
Yeah. Give us more shit. Give us
What
some
if-
Skittles.
What if we? So when we talk about aliens, this is what I wanted to touch on. We have no idea of the scale either, right? So when I watch shit like a video of the future of our universe or something, where it doubles time every second of the video, and then it's going
Yeah.
into like trillions and trillions of years.
When the sun burns out
yeah,
and stars
all the
die.
stars burn out. It's the age of darkness. These giant black holes form, and you're just watching the time down the bottom, and it's like 100 trillion years, and 1,000 trillion years, 100,000 trillion years, 1,000,000 trillion years, and you're like, we can't even fathom what a trillion
Nah.
is.
No.
And then it's happening in seconds while this shit's forming. So the way we're currently spinning and our galaxy is spinning, it's real slow to us because everything's moving like super slowly. But technically it's moving super quick. Like even us, we're currently on the surface of the Earth spinning at 1,500 kilometers an hour. 1,500 kilometers an hour spinning, but we can't feel it because we're attached to the Earth. So like all that shit, and we're moving through space so quickly. So if you were to scale everything down and you were a giant being, everything we're currently experiencing is probably just like 1 second, 2 seconds,
Clicks of
we're
fingers.
done.
Yeah.
Like they are moving so slowly.
We wouldn't even
and
be a
it's
click. We'd be like,
giant-
we'd be the and before the.
yeah, exactly.
When nothing, we wouldn't even be that. We'd be the milli tilly willy second
Yeah.
of the. We'd be
We're
nothing. We'd be a fucking mouse fart.
It's like when you zoom right in with whatever fucking technology we've come up with and you see the electrons circling around an atom that's probably happening so quickly. What if that was another fucking solar system
Yeah.
on a scale?
Yeah. Inside a creature, inside a world, inside a
So what
bubble.
if we're, with all this space around us, we're just part of something giant that's a piece of matter?
Dude,
We got no idea.
we have no idea. We're just an ecosystem on a tiny cell, living on a flea, living on a
We're just-
turtle.
yeah,
living
we're just
on a
living on a
fucking-
fucking electron.
Yeah. But then it's just like, where does it keep going? Keep going up and up and up and up and up until what? Until fucking we're just like this we're just a quick thought and a gungo gungi.
Wherever the imagination takes
Oh,
us.
it's fucking
It's wild.
this is why I'm like, where can we go from here, right? Because like
Where do we go from here?
I'm losing it. But it's cool. Like I love discussing it. I love considering it, but there's only so much our brains can comprehend. And then I'm like, I'm happy to live in ignorance because I will never know anything else. Yeah.
Like, why not?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Like, people always bang on about, and it gets convoluted when you're talking about it all the time. Like, oh my God, you got to focus on the present. Like, bah, 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 bah. But like, if you're just laying alone in your bed and you're like, literally, the future doesn't exist yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we've only come this far and we've only evolved to this level of intelligence or structures around us or community or social life because we evolved the ability to plan into the future. Like, other animals don't have that. They don't plan for the future. They don't go, hey, if you and I stick together and we put these bricks together, in 6 months' time, we can build 20 houses. Like, other animals don't have that future thinking, that planning ahead. But we are so involved in that we're just like, oh my God, I got to do this. Oh my God, I got to do this. I got to do my resume. I got to apply for these jobs. I got to make money. If I make money, if I do this right, then I might get this, and then I make money. But
Make
money.
money.
But you're laying alone in your bed, and you're just like, literally, the only thing that really exists is your thoughts right now. Nothing else. Like, everything that has already happened, it's done. Everything that's in the future, it could completely change. So, like, literally only now. And that's why things are so popular, where people are like, imagine in 50 years' time, we'll be old. We'll be 82 and 81. Are you 31 now, right? 82 and 81 in 50 years' time. Imagine if someone was like, hey, check this out. I got this pill. It'll take you back 50 years. And we just came back to like a moment where you were annoyed at work or something, and that's all you got. And you're like, fuck, I can look back at my young life. When we're 82, we're like, oh, fuck, remember when I was cranky at my fucking job? Like, that was the best time of my life.
Yeah.
Like, you just came back and you were just like,
it's so dumb to consider the idea of anxiety.
Right?
Like, why are you anxious for something in the past? Because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. Oh, my boss is going to say this. Oh, this person's going to try to kill me, or that and that. And then it never happens. And you wasted that energy on fucking nothing.
And the thing
Anxiety
is, you didn't
the death
realize
of humanity, man.
Yeah. And you didn't realize that, like, ugh, I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of that. But you're like, even in 5 years' time, you're probably going to be like, ugh, back in the good old days, you know? Like, now we're like, oh, back in 2018, that was cool as. Like,
Bro.
I was worry-free.
Yeah.
At the time, you were probably like, fuck, I'm moving to Sydney. Fuck, I'm going to pack all more shit.
Yeah.
That was me, for instance.
Bro, we are living in the good old days and we don't even know
Yeah.
it. Right now,
memes.
right now, we are living in the right now. Anyone listening to this right now, I want you to stop and just look around. Stop and just look around.
These are the good old days.
Hell yeah.
You are inside
Prost.
the good old days.
You are inside it right now. You're inside the kaleidoscopic fucking. You're inside an atom inside a turtle's dick. You're in everything right now. Won't you sleep on in? Wake up something in the morning.
Shimmy doom.
I think we should end it there. Leave
think so
people
too.
on a fucking philosophical note.
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful, man.
I
think we've
slight shame that we fucked up the start and missed a bunch of shit about the dreams,
we had
but
some cool shit.
it's beautiful.
But it was beautiful, yeah.
Beautiful.
Thanks for listening, anyone.
Thanks
who's
for listening, everyone, and peace out.